All right, so there you see it. Well, Melania Trump, who was at a Delhi government school this morning, the Sarvodaya Senior Secondary School, where she was attending, ironically, a happiness class, which is where students take time off from their academic curriculum to have activities and other activities that lead to, well, happier individuals. But that was happening at a time when in other parts of Delhi, school children were not even able to attend school, with private and government schools being shut down by the Delhi government following a night of violence and fears of further clashes, fears that are now, in fact, playing out as anticipated.
I was able to see how the concept...
5 places where the situation, according to our reporters, is deteriorating as we speak. Delhi's Karawal Nagar, Mojpur, Bhajanpura, Vijay Park and Yamuna Vihar areas is where violence has been reported. Several instances of violence being reported this morning.
But the students here begin each day by participating mindfulness.
My colleague Akshay Dongre took a car ride around some of these areas. We'll try and go to that in a moment. But first, let me cut across to my colleague Arvind, joining us live at this point. Arvind, there are now at least 5 areas where the situation is actually worsening. Give us a sense of what's happening.
Ankita, Delhi police has actually invoked section 144 in the throughout Northeast district. So like you said, when we went across the Northeast district, we witnessed in five places like Mojpur and also Karawal Nagar and also Bhajanpura and also Yamuna Vihar and also Vijay Park. In all these 5 places, we saw fresh clash between 2 communities. So in all these 5 places, we didn't see any
I believe the US First Lady is speaking as we speak. Let's listen to Melania.
Include the dangers of drug abuse, the importance of online safety, and the overall well-being of children. It is my hope that by talking about the values of Be Best with young people in the United States and around the world, our children, teachers, and parents will strive to share them with family and friends throughout their own communities. As I travel around the world, I'm inspired not only by programs like the Reading Classroom and the Happiness Curriculum, but also by the people who dedicated themselves to helping children overcome the many issues they face each day. Seeing your programs firsthand and hearing from your dedicated educators has been a great experience and prove that the principles of Be Best are not just limited to the United States, but can be found throughout the world. This school exemplifies that promoting values of kindness, compassion, and respect can bring about positive change within your communities. Before I leave today, I want to thank all of the educators here who are setting positive examples for young people and providing them with the skills and knowledge they will need as they grow and develop. Students, I want to thank you for welcoming me to your school. I encourage you to keep working hard every day and want to let you know that what you are learning is valuable and will make a difference in your lives and those around you. As you continue on your path of learning, always remember to be good to each other. And principals and teachers, thank you for what you do to promote health.
You saw United States.
All right, we'll try and get back to that in a moment. The US First Lady speaking at the Sarvodaya Senior Secondary School in Delhi as after she attended a happiness class. Those 2 very different images of Delhi, one of a school that has actually that is actually functioning today and was in fact presented to the US First Lady. But remember, there are many, many children who have not been able to go to school today, since all schools, both government and private, in Northeast Delhi are closed this morning. They've been forced to close after the violence we've seen both yesterday and through the night. As we said, violence worsening in at least 5 areas today as well.
By students themselves. Let us give a huge round of applause to our students. Wonderful.
The US First Lady now being gifted works of art by these students, we think.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the warm welcome. It is an honor to join you today at this beautiful school. Thank you, Mary, for your kind introduction and for welcoming me with the lovely Talik tradition and with a beautiful dance performance. This is my first visit to India, and I cannot express how delightful it is. The people here are so welcoming and so kind. The President and I are grateful to be guests for a beautiful country and to have received such a warm reception during our time here. I learned that your school's name, Sarvodaya, means prosperity for all. As I walked around, I was able to see how the concept exists in curriculum, in the leadership of the teachers, and in the spirit of enthusiasm of the students. A short while ago, I visited a classroom and observed its happiness curriculum. It is very inspiring to me that the students here begin each day by participating mindfulness. From mindful breathing, telling a story to a friend, listening to another classmate, or simply connecting with nature, I cannot think of a better way for all of us to start our day. I also visited one of your primary school reading classrooms and learned about the reading program. Encouraging students to explore books of their own interest is very effective and increases reading habits and life skills. Back home, in the United States, I work with children like you to promote similar ideas of well-being through my Be Best initiative. The 3 pillars of Be Best include the dangers of drug abuse, the importance of online safety, and the overall well-being of children. It is my hope that by talking about the values of Be Best with young people in the United States and around the world, our children, teachers, and parents will strive to share them with family and friends throughout their own communities. As I travel around the world, I'm inspired not only by programs like the reading classroom and the happiness curriculum, but also by the people who dedicated themselves to helping children overcome the many issues they face each day. Seeing your programs firsthand and hearing from your dedicated educators has been a great experience and prove that the principles of Be Best are not just limited to the United States, but can be found throughout the world. This school exemplifies that promoting values of kindness, compassion, and respect can bring about positive change within your communities. Before I leave today, I want to thank all of the educators here who are setting positive examples for young people and providing them with the skills and knowledge they will need as they grow and develop. Students, I want to thank you for welcoming me to your school. I encourage you to keep working hard every day and want to let you know that what you are learning is valuable and will make a difference in your lives and those around you. As you continue on your path of learning, always remember to be good to each other. And principals and teachers, thank you for what you do to promote health.
All right, that was the US First Lady, Melania Trump, talking about her experience at Delhi government school, where she participated in a happiness class. Remember, there was some controversy about this earlier when Delhi's Chief Minister and Education Minister were not invited to that event. The White House then issuing a statement saying this was an apolitical event and that was the reason why. However, very ironic that we're seeing these pictures from a school even as students elsewhere in Delhi, in northeast Delhi, are unable to even attend school this morning, and that's because of all the violence we've seen through the intervening night as well as once again this morning and through the day today. All private schools as well as government schools in northeast Delhi were ordered to shut down by the Delhi government after that violence and over fears that the violence would continue. As we get you the latest from Delhi, where 7 people have died, over 150 are injured, and fresh violence has now been reported from at least 5 locations, including Bhajanpura, Vijay Park, Mojpur, and other places. This is happening at a time when Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Donald Trump are also holding extensive talks that cover the entire spectrum of India and the US's bilateral ties. Key areas of defense, security, trade and investment are being discussed. We're also waiting to hear from both the leaders. A joint interaction with the press expected from Delhi's Hyderabad house any moment now. Those are the visuals we're also showing you at this point. The leaders will have talked on regional issues, including America's proposed peace deal with the Taliban, the situation in the Indo-Pacific, the threat of terror, the situation in the Gulf, all up for discussion. Yesterday, when he was speaking at Ahmedabad's Motera Stadium, President Trump also talked about defense deals worth around $3 billion, which are expected to be inked today. Earlier in the day, the Trumps paying respect to Mahatma Gandhi at his memorial in Rajghat. There was a ceremonial reception also in Rashtrapati Bhavan this morning. Prime Minister Modi received Donald Trump and the US First Lady at Hyderabad House earlier this morning, after which the First Lady came on her own to visit that Delhi government school. And bilateral talks began between the two leaders. There were restricted talks between the heads of state and followed by delegation level talks as well. So everything is in readiness. We can expect to hear from President Trump and Prime Minister Modi in just a short while from now. We were just seeing visuals of other members of his family, his daughter Ivanka Trump, his son-in-law Jared Kushner, all seated ahead of that joint press statement that is expected from the two leaders. And there you see them. The US and India expected to sign several agreements. Deals, as we said, worth $3 billion for the supply of choppers for the Indian Army and Navy are on the table. Deals on traditional energy, nuclear energy, homeland security, intellectual property rights and healthcare all on the table as
Your
well.
Excellency, Mr. Donald Trump, President of the United States of America, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Before I begin with the press event, I would like to announce the 3 documents which were concluded during the visit. First was an MOU on mental health between the Department of Health and Family Welfare of the Government of the Republic of India and the Department of Health and Human Services of the Government of the United States of America. Second was an MOU on the safety of medical products between the Central Drugs Standard Control Organization within the Directorate General of Health Services of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of the Republic of India and the Food and Drug Administration of the Department of Health and Human Services of the United States of America. And finally, a letter of cooperation between Indian Oil Corporation Limited and ExxonMobil India LNG Limited and Chart Industries Incorporation. I now begin the proceedings for the press event. To begin, may I request the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, to deliver his statement to the press.
My friend
और
and President of the United States, Donald Trump,
अमेरिकी डेलीगेशन के सम्मानित
respected members of the American delegation,
ladies and gentlemen,
namaste,
good afternoon.
राष्ट्रपति ट्रम्प
और उनके डेलीगेशन का भारत में
once again a very warm
हार्दिक
welcome
स्वागत
to
है।
President Trump and his delegation in
मुझे विशेष
India.
खुशी है
I am especially
इस यात्रा
really
पर
happy
वो अपने
that
परिवार
he
के
has
साथ
brought
आए।
his family with him on this visit.
पिछले 8 महीनों में
In the last
राष्ट्रपति
8
ट्रम्प
months,
और मेरे बीच
this is
ये 5वीं
the
मुलाकात
5th meeting between President Trump and
मोटेरा
myself.
में
Yes.
कल मोटेरा में राष्ट्रपति ट्रम्प का अनप्रेसिडेंटेड और हिस्टोरिकल वेलकम हमेशा याद रखा जाएगा। कल ये फिर से स्पष्ट हुआ कि अमेरिका और भारत के संबंध सिर्फ 2 सरकारों के बीच नहीं है, बल्कि पीपल ड्रिवन है, पीपल सेंट्रिक है। यह संबंध 21वीं सदी की सबसे महत्वपूर्ण पार्टनरशिप में है और इसलिए आज राष्ट्रपति ट्रम्प और मैंने हमारे संबंधों को कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव ग्लोबल स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप के स्तर पर ले जाने का निर्णय लिया है। संबंधों को इस मुकाम तक लाने में राष्ट्रपति ट्रम्प का अमूल्य योगदान रहा है। फ्रेंड्स, आज हमारी चर्चा में हमने इस पार्टनरशिप के हर अहम पहलू पर सकारात्मक विचार किया, चाहे वो डिफेंस एंड सिक्योरिटी हो, एनर्जी स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप हो, टेक्नोलॉजी कोऑपरेशन हो, ग्लोबल कनेक्टिविटी हो, ट्रेड रिलेशंस हो या फिर पीपल टू पीपल टाइज। भारत और अमेरिका के बीच बढ़ता रक्षा और सुरक्षा सहयोग हमारी स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप का एक बहुत अहम हिस्सा है। अत्याधुनिक रक्षा उपकरण व प्लेटफॉर्म पर सहयोग से भारत की डिफेंस क्षमता में बढ़ोतरी हुई है। हमारे डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरर्स एक दूसरे की सप्लाई चेन्स का हिस्सा बन रहे हैं। भारतीय फोर्सेस आज सबसे अधिक ट्रेनिंग एक्सरसाइज यूएसए के फोर्सेस के साथ कर रही है। पिछले कुछ सालों में हमारी सेनाओं के बीच इंटर ऑपरेबिलिटी में अनप्रेसिडेंटेड वृद्धि हुई है। फ्रेंड्स, इसी तरह हम अपने होमलैंड्स की सुरक्षा और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय अपराध से लड़ने के लिए भी सहयोग बढ़ा रहे हैं। आज होमलैंड सिक्योरिटी पर हुए निर्णय से इस सहयोग को और बल मिलेगा। आतंक के समर्थकों को जिम्मेदार ठहराने के लिए आज हमने अपने प्रयासों को और बढ़ाने का निश्चय किया है। प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप ने ड्रग्स और ओपियोइड क्राइसिस से लड़ाई को प्राथमिकता दी है। आज हमारे बीच ड्रग ट्रैफिकिंग, नार्को टेररिज्म और ऑर्गेनाइज क्राइम जैसी गंभीर समस्याओं के बारे में एक नए मैकेनिज्म पर भी सहमति हुई है। फ्रेंड्स, कुछ ही समय पहले स्थापित हमारी स्ट्रेटेजिक एनर्जी पार्टनरशिप सुदृढ़ होती जा रही है और इस क्षेत्र में आपसी निवेश बढ़ा है। तेल और गैस के लिए अमेरिका भारत का एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण स्रोत बन गया है। पिछले 4 वर्षों में हमारा कुल एनर्जी व्यापार करीब $20 बिलियन रहा है। रिन्यूएबल हो या न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी, हमारे कोऑपरेशन को नई ऊर्जा मिल रही है। फ्रेंड्स, इसी तरह इंडस्ट्री 4.0 और 21st सेंचुरी की अन्य उभरती टेक्नोलॉजीज, उस पर भी इंडिया यूएस पार्टनरशिप इनोवेशन और एंटरप्राइज के नए मुकाम स्थापित कर रही है। भारतीय प्रोफेशनल्स के टैलेंट ने अमेरिकी कंपनीज की टेक्नोलॉजी लीडरशिप को मजबूत किया है। फ्रेंड्स, भारत और अमेरिका आर्थिक क्षेत्र में ओपननेस और फेयर एंड बैलेंस ट्रेड के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है। पिछले 3 वर्षों में हमारे द्विपक्षीय व्यापार में डबल डिजिट ग्रोथ हुई है और वह ज्यादा संतुलित भी हुआ है। अगर एनर्जी, सिविल एयरक्राफ्ट्स, डिफेंस और हायर एजुकेशन ले तो पिछले 4-5 सालों में सिर्फ इन 4 सेक्टर्स ने ही भारत अमेरिका के आर्थिक संबंधों में लगभग $70 बिलियन का योगदान किया है। इसमें से काफी कुछ राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप की नीतियों और फैसलों के कारण संभव हुआ है। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि आने वाले समय में यह आंकड़ा काफी बढ़ जाएगा। जहां तक बायलैटरल ट्रेड का सवाल है, हमारे कॉमर्स मिनिस्टर्स के बीच सकारात्मक वार्ताएं हुई हैं। राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप और मैं आज सहमत हुए हैं कि हमारे कॉमर्स मिनिस्टर के बीच जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग बनी है उसे हमारी टीम्स लीगल रूप दें। हम एक बड़ी ट्रेड डील के लिए नेगोशिएशन शुरू करने पर भी सहमत हुए हैं। हमें आशा है कि आपसी हित में इसके अच्छे परिणाम निकलेंगे। फ्रेंड्स, वैश्विक स्तर पर भारत और अमेरिका का सहयोग हमारे समान लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों और उद्देश्यों पर आधारित है। खासकर इंडो पैसिफिक और ग्लोबल कॉमन्स में रूल बेस्ड इंटरनेशनल ऑर्डर के लिए यह सहयोग विशेष महत्व रखता है। हम दोनों देश विश्व में कनेक्टिविटी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के विकास में सस्टेनेबल एंड ट्रांसपेरेंट फाइनेंसिंग के महत्व पर सहमत है। हमारा यह आपसी तालमेल एक दूसरे के ही नहीं बल्कि विश्व के हित में है। फ्रेंड्स, भारत और अमेरिका की स्पेशल मित्रता की सबसे महत्वपूर्ण नींव हमारे पीपल टू पीपल रिलेशंस हैं। चाहे वो प्रोफेशनल्स हो या स्टूडेंट्स, यूएसए में इंडियन डायस्पोरा का इसमें सबसे बड़ा योगदान रहा है। भारत के ये एम्बेसडर्स न सिर्फ अपने टैलेंट और परिश्रम से यूएसए की अर्थव्यवस्था में कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं, बल्कि अपने डेमोक्रेटिक वैल्यूज और समृद्ध कल्चर से अमेरिकन सोसाइटी को भी एनरिच कर रहे हैं। मैंने राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप से अनुरोध किया है कि हमारे प्रोफेशनल्स के सोशल सिक्योरिटी कंट्रीब्यूशन पर टोटलाइजेशन एग्रीमेंट को दोनों पक्ष चर्चा आगे बढ़ाएं। ये आपसी हित में होगा। फ्रेंड्स, इन सभी आयामों में हमारे रिश्तों को और मजबूत बनाने में राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप की ये यात्रा ने ऐतिहासिक भूमिका निभाई है। एक बार फिर मैं प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप को भारत आने के लिए और भारत अमेरिका संबंधों को नई ऊंचाई पर पहुंचाने के लिए हार्दिक धन्यवाद देता हूं। थैंक यू।
Well, thank you very much. And Prime Minister Modi, this has been a very special visit. Unforgettable, extraordinary. What can you say? Very, very wonderful to be with you. Thank you very much. And Melania and I have been awed by the majesty of India and the exceptional kindness and generosity of the Indian people. We'll always remember the magnificent welcome the citizens of your home state showed us upon arrival. It was a profound expression of strength and of real love. Really, it was love. And I think everybody saw that, everybody witnessed that for themselves. The First Lady and I also reflected on the memory of Mahatma Gandhi at his ashram, and this morning in Delhi, we laid a wreath in his honor. We visited one of your nation's most stunning cultural treasures, the world-famous Taj Mahal, and we look forward to continuing our visit tonight during a wonderful state banquet with President Kovind at the Presidential Palace. I know Prime Minister Modi will agree that this has been a very productive visit for both of our countries. Earlier today, we expanded our defense cooperation with agreements for India to purchase more than $3 billion of advanced American military equipment, including Apache and MH-60 Romeo helicopters, the finest in the world. These deals will enhance our joint defense capabilities as our militaries continue to train and operate side by side. In our discussions, Prime Minister Modi and I affirmed our two countries' commitment to protecting our citizens from radical Islamic terrorism. In this effort, the United States is also working productively with Pakistan to confront terrorists who operate on its soil. Together, the Prime Minister and I are revitalizing the Quad initiative with the United States, India, Australia, and Japan. Since I took office, we have held the first Quad ministerial meeting. I guess you would call it a meeting, but it seems like so much more than that, an expanded cooperation on counterterrorism, cybersecurity, and maritime security to ensure a free and open Indo-Pacific. As we deepen our partnership with India, we remember that our two countries have always been united by shared traditions of democracy and constitutions that protect freedom, individual rights, and the rule of law. During our visit, we discussed the importance of a secure 5G wireless network and the need for this emerging technology to be a tool for freedom, progress, prosperity, not to do anything where it could be even conceived as a conduit for suppression and censorship. To guarantee that the infrastructure of the future is built in a safe, transparent, and accountable manner, the United States is working with a range of partners, including Australia and Japan, to create the Blue Dot Network, a major initiative to ensure countries around the world to have access to private sector-led, sustainable, and trustworthy options for high-quality infrastructure development, and that's what's happening. Another major focus of my discussions with Prime Minister Modi is forging bilateral economic relationships that is fair and reciprocal. Our teams have made tremendous progress on a comprehensive trade agreement, and I'm optimistic we can reach a deal that will be of great importance to both countries. Since I took office, U.S. exports to India are up nearly 60%, and exports of high-quality American energy have grown by, thank you very much, 500%. That's great. As India grows, so do its energy needs. Yesterday, ExxonMobil signed a deal to improve India's natural gas distribution network so that the U.S. can export even more LNG to India. We are pleased to be joined by the chairman of ExxonMobil LNG Market Development, Alex Volkov. Thank you, Alex, wherever you may be. Where is Alex? Is here someplace? Alex, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Alex. And the CEO of Chart Energy and Chemicals, Jillian Ivanko. Thank you very much. Thank you both. Thank you, Jillian. Thank you very much. That's a big deal, Alex, right? Can you handle it? I think so, right? It's great. To further strengthen our economic ties, the United States is pleased to announce that the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation will be establishing a permanent presence right here. America is especially committed to working with India to improve development and empower women entrepreneurs. That is why my daughter Ivanka attended the Global Entrepreneurship Summit in Hyderabad to highlight women's economic empowerment. Ivanka, please, great job you've done. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have since launched the WGDP initiative, which is now spearheading projects supporting women in the economy from New Delhi to Kolkata. In our meetings with the Prime Minister, we discussed and agreed to create a counter-narcotics working group to confront the growing threat of illicit fentanyl and opioid production. We must rid our societies of these lethal, horrible poisons. We will rid our societies of these bad drugs pouring in. Prime Minister Modi, we have made tremendous advances for our people over the past 2 days, and working together, I know that our two nations will continue to achieve new breakthroughs, unlock new potential, and forge even brighter futures in the years ahead. We think we're at a point where our relationship is so special with India. It has never been as good as it is right now, and I think that's because the two leaders of each country, really, we feel very strongly about each other, and we have done something that's very unique, and we've made wonderful deals for each of our countries. Once again, we want to thank you and the nation of India for honoring the United States' outstanding welcome. I'm pleased to say the U.S.-Indian partnership is now truly stronger than ever. It's a great visit with a tremendous friend, Prime Minister Modi. We won't be taking questions now. I'll be having a news conference at 5 o'clock, and we'll take any of questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Excellency. This concludes the press event. Thank you all for.
Right, so we've heard now U.S. President Trump and Prime Minister Modi that India and the U.S. have now signed 3 agreements. Prime Minister Modi, in his remarks, saying that India wants to work for fair and balanced trade, India and the U.S., and that most ministers of both countries have had positive discussions, and a legal framework will also be given to those discussions. So the leaders saying that they expect positive outcomes on trade, but no other developments on that. On the subject of defense, Prime Minister Modi talked about how the US and America had become closer partners in the last few years. He talked about unprecedented growth in defense ties. President Trump, on his part, talked about increasing cooperation on homeland security, and a deal has been signed on that, and an agreement on greater cooperation on homeland security. President Trump also speaking on opioids, saying we have to work together to prevent bad drugs from pouring in. This is a matter on which we've heard him speak in the past as well. On industry, he's talked about India-US partnerships progressing, and saying that both countries are committed to openness and fair and balanced trade. Now, on the subject of bilateral trade, as we said, beyond saying that the two countries have spoken and that commerce ministers have held talks. He said, Prime Minister Modi said, Trump and I agree that the understanding is that we have to start negotiations. Nidhi Razdan, who's been at Hyderabad House tracking all of those developments, joins us at this point. Nidhi, the big takeaways from what you heard there. Nidhi?
Well, both the Prime Minister and President Trump have just finished very brief statements to the press here at Hyderabad House. What they have said, which them speak is for at least the U.S. President was a lot on the general agreement between the two countries, $3 billion worth of defense equipment that he was very happy that India is going to buy from the United States. Also talking about the commitment to fighting radical Islamic terrorism, that the U.S., he said, was working productively with Pakistan to act against terror groups working on their soil, about the shared values of democracy. The U.S. President also spoke about the Indo-Pacific, which is very important. India's partnership with the U.S. there is significant. And he also said he was optimistic that a trade deal would be reached that would be of great importance to both sides. If you look at Prime Minister Modi's statement, he also talked about optimism as far as a trade deal is concerned, saying that our commerce ministers have had positive discussions and we have asked our teams to give a legal framework to these discussions. Mr. Modi also talking about a comprehensive global strategic partnership with the United States, which includes everything from defense and security to energy and trade ties, saying that we're also increasing cooperation in homeland security and that on terrorism we've agreed to increase cooperation against supporters of terror to make them accountable. But at the end of the day, Ankita, not very big bang takeaways in terms of agreements. There are only 3 agreements that were signed today. The first was an MOU on mental health, the second on the safety of medical products, and the third was cooperation between oil firms of the two countries. So no big bang takeaways as such, but clearly a lot of other discussion would have taken place on issues of common importance.
Right, Nidhi, when you talk about the issues of common importance, we heard homeland security being mentioned there by the leaders. Is there no formal agreement on that then?
These are the only formal agreements that have been signed today, Ankita, and
right.
Obviously India has agreed, as the US President pointed out, to purchase this defense equipment worth $3 billion.
Right.
So that is the other significant takeaway. It'll be interesting now to see what President Trump says. He announced it here himself. He's going to have a press conference at 5 p.m. Here, no questions were allowed, but he's going to be on his own at 5 o'clock. One suspects he will say a lot on domestic U.S. politics, but I think there will be a lot of questions from the Indian media on a range of issues. Let's see what he says. That might be the more interesting part of the day.
Well, certainly, Nidhi, and I think there's no going away from the fact that this visit is happening in the backdrop of that violence that is continuing in Delhi, and it'll be interesting to hear if the US President has a view on that. But as far as the trade deal and no outcomes on that goes, both sides committing to continued talks?
They will continue to talk. They seem to be optimistic that there could be some kind of an agreement that they would reach over the next few months. But now it looks like any big trade agreement will only happen after the U.S. elections. That is something the U.S. President had indicated even before his visit to India. So let's see where that goes.
For now, thanks very much indeed for joining us with the latest from Hyderabad House. We'll take a very quick break. More coming up.